Hi.
Recording.
Hi, good afternoon. I am Carolyn Daly with the Tech for Learning team, and I'm here in San Diego, California, and super excited to share with you some essential skills in Wixie. So for about the next 30-ish minutes, we're going to be showing how to, as you can see in the agenda here, how to share what the two different interfaces in Wixie look like, how to create a new project, but focusing on the multimodal, so text, images, and voice. I will show you how to share projects using a URL, video, and then we'll share some print options with you as well. We'll explore the cross-curricular templates in the Wixie library and how to take a template and assign it to students. And then we'll kind of head into the teacher side and view student work, and you'll see how you can add a comment and assessment. And then we also know, especially now with remote learning or a hybrid situation, that many folks are needing to import resources that they have from their adopted curriculum. So I will show you how to import PDFs, and then you can assign those to your students. And then Kim, who's my collaborator on the side here in my chat, we're going to show you just very quickly how to do some collaboration with kind of an end of session activity. And then, of course, we'll talk about some support resources. So that is kind of where we're headed. So without further ado, I always like to start every presentation with the why. Why are we doing this? So in this case, why Wixie? And I personally can answer this in one word. It's, okay, versatile. It's versatile. It's versatile. There are so many different things that students can create in Wixie. And as you look at the different things that kids can produce, you're probably thinking, wow, I know individual programs that specialize in just doing that one thing, whether it's a comic maker or a timeline creator, a graphic organizer. And the nice thing is we have put all of those different things in one application and made it super, super easy for kids to create and share lots of different ways. So again, so many different opportunities for kids. Another thing that kind of sets Wixie apart is it is a district template archival system, meaning, yes, you can access templates that we have in Wixie, but you can also, as a teacher, create your own templates and then move them very easily into your district or school folder, and those can be accessed and utilized year in and year out. So it creates this really nice, sustainable system where you have all of your resources in one place. And so again, today I'm going to be not showing you how to do everything in Wixie because there is so much that you can do with this program, but certainly kind of on how to do some of the basic things as I've discussed. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Once you log into Wixie, you will come to this dashboard. And although you won't see all of the projects, as you can see here, my example projects, you will see this area. Right now, you're looking at the standard interface of Wixie. So Wixie's pretty hip. She's got two different looks, or what we call themes. And so in the standard theme, after you log in and you click on new, you will have some choices on how you want to start your creation. So I'm going to go ahead and start with a landscape interface. And in the interface, the standard look, you'll see it's just nice and simple. You've got the ability to add your pages and your video, and this is your collaboration. But one thing that I want to share before I show you the other look, which is the primary theme, is just take a look. When I go to click on the paintbrush, you'll notice that I have all kinds of options for choosing how I want to paint and the specific colors, okay? So definitely register that, because there's a big difference between the standard interface and the primary interface when I go to change it. But everything else is the same. You can add images and text and voice, but you'll see in just a moment here, the look is quite different. The icons are much bigger. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to switch theme. And now you are looking at the primary interface in Wixie. And what's fantastic, of course, is that you get the choice. And so some of your kids can be in one and some can be in the other. It's all about options in Wixie. And with the primaries, you can imagine or as you can see, the icons are bigger. They stand out a little bit more. A lot of the, like your share and your print are right here up on the top toolbar, but you still have all the same options for adding, pages and images and text. Here's your voice recording. And then this is where it gets very different. When I click on this is like the paintbrush or the pencil, because it depends on how you switch your slider right here. Really thin, it becomes a pencil. But there are only 10 options. And so again, we really wanted to make sure that we created 2 different looks. So primary kids or perhaps students that need more accommodations met could have those options. And so again, those can be switched in the settings. I'm not going to go into that. It's kind of a rabbit hole, but I wanted to make sure that you knew that not only does Wixie have 2 different looks or themes, she also speaks 3 different languages, okay? English, Spanish, and French. So you can set Wixie into those different languages as well. So for the purpose of today's presentation, though, we are going to stay in the standard mode, which you're looking at right now. And I would recommend, as a teacher, if you are going to create your own materials, that you, even if your kids are using the primary interface to do their classwork, that you absolutely switch and author in the standard mode. There's just more options for, again, creating those templates. And Kim will share some of those different ideas, in the chat as well. Okay, so what we're going to do is just kind of create a scene today. We're going to go diving, and rather than using the paint bucket and creating kind of an ocean for us to go dive into, I'm going to utilize some of the images that we have in Wixie. And so as you can see, that was pretty easy. I just clicked the paint bucket. And what's nice is I can just click this undo button and I can undo as many times as I want. And so that is probably the first thing that I would share with students is their best friend is, okay, if you do something, it doesn't matter what it is, you can draw anything and it'll go and undo as many times as you need it to. So the next thing that I want to share is the background, because what's nice about the background pictures is we already have created a beautiful background drop that you can then layer text and audio and images on top of. So as you can see, there's lots of different folders here with different backgrounds. So if we're doing something spooky, perhaps it's for Halloween, you might use one of these. We've got some beautiful landscapes, sunsets, you name it. We also have textures. So depending on the different projects that kids are doing, this will fill the entire background with that. Another one of my favorites is these on stage. So again, it fills right into the background and the kids can kind of layer themselves on stage or whatnot. But for what we're doing today, let's go into story. I think this is probably one of my favorite background folders. It has all kinds of different settings, as you can see, and so great for digital storytelling for the kiddos. So I'm going to scroll down and let's choose the coral reef. I'm going to go to, hold on a second, and let this go back in. Not sure why that did that. Let's go back in here and grab this. Okay, so here's our background. And again, it's a background. So we can go and we can add anything that we want on top of it. So we can layer things. And in Wixie, you have thousands of images, and they're all integrated right within the program. So if I click on image here, you'll notice that we have a tab called stickers. These are all just clip art. And as you can see, they're cross-curricular, lots of different themes. And so there's all kinds of different images that reside within these folders. So if I go to math, for example, you'll see we've got all kinds of different stickers that you can layer on top of the different projects that you're doing. You can also do a quick search. So if we are looking for example, a scuba diver, I can type in scuba and it's going to pull up not only the clip art or the stickers that we have, but it's also going to pull up any authentic pictures that come from the Pics for Learning gallery. And in Pics for Learning, we have about 25,000 images in there that are all copyright friendly, and you never have to worry about having the kids go out to Google and find something inappropriate. And so those pull up as well. And then we can just literally click on the image, pull it in, use the handles to resize. Everything can be rotated, and off you go. So again, it makes it really nice to be able to pull in whatever piece that you want. Let's say it's a clownfish. Let's see if we've got a clownfish in there. We sure do. We can pull that in. So again, once we have all of the different things that we want in our scene, I also want to share that you can add, of course, paint on top of those backgrounds. So if we wanted to do like I don't know, we'll do like a sea star, we can paint on top of that. And of course, being that this is a paint program as well, there's all kinds of different options, including a spray can. So if we wanted to actually spray some fish, you can see that we've got all kinds of different spray options. So the sky's the limit in terms of what kids can create, and it's all bundled right into the program. You can also, of course, layer text on top. So if I wanted to say, ooh, look, there is a clownfish, and have that stand out a little bit more. Maybe I'm doing a comic book. We can add a bubble around that. So now we've got a nice little thought bubble, and create kind of a little booklet with the character doing a dialogue back and forth. The other piece that I want to show is recording. So in Wixie, you can record up to 5 minutes of audio per page. So if I click on this button right here and click record, it counts down, and oh, look, there's a clownfish. And you won't be able to hear this very well because we're on Google Meet, but it absolutely adds right here onto the page. And so now you've got your page with images and text and some painted pictures. While I've been doing this, Wixie has been saving. So there's no need to hit a button to save. It just automatically archives everything that the students do, and it actually creates one URL that's specific to that project, which is so easy. So I could actually just, text that to somebody right now, and they could just pull it up and be like, wow, look at that. In Wixie, there are all kinds of different ways, in addition to being able to just share out the hyperlink though. So below that file menu, you'll see that if I wanted to share this out and it was a student, we very much believe in privacy. So you would share this out and make sure that the person who received it had that public key to be able to access it. But as you can see, you can share it to Google Classroom, and essentially anything that you create in Wixie can be shared out into any program that will accept a link, whether that's Seesaw or Google, Schoology, whatever you're creating in, they will be able to actually look at that particular project. The other thing that I wanted to share is the download options. So once they create something, like in this case, we probably want to turn it into a video since it has the sound, and that's a newer feature. So that would be possible. But if we just wanted a still image, it saves as a JPEG or a PNG, or of course the the very versatile PDF format, and then you've got your ebook and Wixie file as well. And speaking of print, I just wanted to quickly click on this video because you can also create videos. And here you can see me again. If I was a teacher and I wanted to actually create either instructions as a video, I could do that, even though you can create instructions as a slide on a template. This is a great way for me to be able to show some printed booklets off. So there are, and I'll show you where these can be found in the print options in a second, but I just wanted to share kind of some different learning artifacts. This is one of the templates that we have on creating a brochure. Of course, just one-page things, a wanted poster. There are so many fun things. I mean, take a look at how cute this is, little cubes for kids to share their learning. And of course, we've got Valentine's Day coming up. So rather than having the kids purchase Valentines and share them out, you can use Wixie and have them create little trading cards and cut those out and distribute those. Or of course, if you're still virtual, you can have the kids do a virtual Valentine's Day card with the voice. We just had MLK Day. You can see more trading cards, and there's another sample of trading cards. So lots of different ways that you can print out the learning artifacts. And let me go ahead and we'll go back into that print option down here. And this is where you can make all that magic happen. So the little booklet is just this option right here. And you can kind of see some of the different options for printing out as well. So that again is the kind of the creating and the saving and sharing side. Now what I want to do is go back home and share with you some of the templates that reside in Wixie. And we add templates all of the time. And you can even request things, not only images, but templates. So again, you can imagine how much more wonderful this program gets day by day. So let's start with month by month. In the month by month, you can see that they're all, of course, labeled by the month. And in those are things that are pertinent to, since we're coming up on February, I thought I'd share this particular folder. But for like the little ones, we've got color it. So if they're just learning some of the different skills on like using a mouse and the paint bucket, but you can see there's some sorting things. So, or if bell ringers, things like making, how many words can you make out of the word friendship, multiplication stuff, that actually becomes a heart. That's a really cute one. So lots of different ideas month by month. We also have, of course, an entire folder of social emotional templates. This is one of my favorites, kind of having the kids make affirmations about themselves. And I know now with COVID, it's one of those that we definitely want to make sure we're checking in with kiddos and having them kind of share their thoughts. So I definitely wanted to share the SEL folder. And then video, these are super fun for, as you can imagine, doing any kind of broadcast, or if you're having the kids create little, how-tos, or, breaking news, and they're covering a topic. These are really, really fun templates that the kids can use, and they're, again, they get to focus on the content, not have to worry about designing the pretty template. And of course, we've got all of the core subjects, your language arts, math, etc. So rather than kind of going into a rabbit hole of perusing thousands of templates, I wanted to share that you can also just do a quick search for something. So if we were looking for comprehension and things that show up in the library that support that, you can see we've got comprehension idea boards, as well as choice boards with like 6 ideas for kids to choose from, in this case on showing informational text. So lots of different options. But what I wanted to share is once you find a template that you want your kids to do, you can assign that out to the kiddos. So beneath the template are these 3 little dots, and you just simply click on that. If you want to assign it right within Wixie, it's just a matter of clicking this assign right here. If you wanted to share this out in another program, perhaps that's Seesaw or Schoology, you would use the share link. And that can then be put in one of those learning management programs. But we're going to go ahead and I'm going to show you how to assign it right within Wixie. So you choose your start and your end date. I'm just going to leave that as it is for time's sake. And your grade. And of course, at this point, you can say, you know what, is this appropriate for all of my kids? Am I having one or two kids do this for more practice on it? So you get to decide. And then once you're finished with that, you just simply click the save button. Before I go ahead and log out and show you what that would look like from the kiddo side, I wanted to just highlight a couple different things. Our templates are awesome and they're designed well, and each of them has an objective, a short little description of what the students can do with it. As you can see from these tabs below, each one of our templates also has an attached rubric. So as a teacher, you can actually grade the different projects by simply clicking in the different areas there, the boxes, and then Wixie is also aligned to the standards. So I just wanted to make sure to show off that these templates they're fantastic. And so let's go ahead and we'll log out of Wixie and we will log back in as a student and just kind of let you see what that looks like. So when the student logs in, you'll notice up at the very top, the character coat of arms shows up. So any of the assignments appear up at the top, makes it really, really easy. Even in the primary interface, it's even easier. It's a big orange, section, and it's got all of the templates for the kiddos that you want them to work on right up at the top. And so at this point, the student would literally just open up the template and begin working. Okay. So we'll add something into this. Okay. Let's say we'll just do a star on here. So the kid works on the template and your class period ends. Again, remember everything in Wixie saves automatically. We log out, and now we're going to go back in as me, as the teacher. So in Wixie, all of the students are associated with the teacher, or teachers, and that's all done on the back end. So if I wanted to see what my second grade students are up to, and of course I assign that to Aiden, I would simply just click on Aiden's name, and then as you can see, here is the project that I just assigned to Aiden. At this point, as the teacher, I can say, I can leave feedback and say, hey, which character are you doing? I can ask a question. I can give, a little nudge. You can also, again, see that this is where I can go in and I can grade that once it's complete. So lots of different things you can print out and whatnot as well there. But that is how to access the templates and how to assign. And then as you can see, this is where you would go in and you can grade this as well. Okay. So moving on to, let's see, importing a PDF. So as I mentioned, now with so many different types of virtual learning, whether it's hybrid or you're 100% virtual. I know my kids have been since last March. If you want to pull in some of those worksheets that support your adopted curriculum and you want to bring them in as PDFs, you just click on the new button. And you can go and click on that upload. And what's fantastic is you just go out, you find them. If you have many different PDFs that you want to add at one time, you just do a shift select and you can pull in lots at the same time, but we're just going to pull one particular one in. And as you can see, there are my 3 dots. If I want to assign that out to students, I can do that. And then once they open up their desks, their particular dashboard, they will be able to layer text or paint right on top of that. So it makes it really easy. I have been talking for almost 30 minutes, and I know that there's probably some questions. We're going to go ahead. I'm going to show a couple quick resources. Actually, nope, there's one other thing to do. Sorry, almost forgot the collaboration piece. Okay, so this is definitely something that separates Wixie from so many other programs that are developed for young students. And that is the ability for the kiddos to work at the same time on the same page. And this can be done literally in the same classroom or across schools if you have the same Wixie domain. And so what I did was I created this, this reflective piece towards the end of our presentation. And I already added Kim, my wonderful moderator, to this team project. And so she should be able to already be actually looking at this. But you can see it's as easy as navigating to whatever whatever teachers you want to collaborate with, or how you can actually add kids to each different, in different groups and have them collaborate. And there's a whole slew of resources on how to do that. But I just wanted to show you some of the magic, and I'm hoping that you all can, this is the part where you can maybe put some things into the chat. This is an AEIOU activity where at the end of a learning unit, or in this case, at the end of a presentation, you can use an adjective to describe something that you learned. And so if there are things, and I'm gonna have Kim maybe use purple to show different things that she's adding on to this. And I'm hoping that Kim sees that. I see her right there. Oh, yay. So maybe it was about, the graphics and how many graphics there were. So that's me. You can see Kim. I'm actually going to add images while she types text. So again, this is a way for if there is some stuff that you have to kind of share to this, something that you maybe found interesting, that made you go, oh, or I still want to learn that about Wixie. And I'm sure there's plenty of because we're just, skimming the surface here. But again, I am going to, let's see, we'll add a couple things. Ooh, I'm excited. Now I just want to open a bag of cookies and log into Wixie and learn even more. So again, if there's something that you can add in the chat, and Kim can type that in. But again, this is such a game changer, especially right now with COVID and not being able to in many cases see the kiddos face to face, is to have something that allows them to work together on something and do so by pulling all the different brains together. Awesome. So uploading PDFs to design templates. And I'm going to maybe wait just a moment, but as you can see, it's really, really easy to have two different people working at the same time in Wixie. And I am going to go to this next slide here, which is our resources. So speaking of being remote, we have an entire PDF that we've created on supporting remote learning. So this particular PDF shares basically the different ways to get students logged in. As you can see, again, more information on the PDFs, and then some ideas for using Wixie to support the different grade levels. So that's another awesome resource there. I mentioned that Wixie has choice boards. This resource is fantastic. It's something that Melinda Kolk, our Director of Professional Development, created, and all of these choice boards are all interactive, meaning you can click on them, log into your Wixie account, and actually save them. But again, these are all within Wixie. So not only can you, I'm going to scroll down and show this, not only can you access the ones that we've done, but alas, I created a short little video on creating your own choice boards. I think it's about 3 minutes long. So we've got some 4 and 6 panel grids within Wixie in the teacher folder in the templates area that you can access and create your own choice boards, because it's all about choice and voice. And lastly, this is one of my favorite links just because it's got all of the different things that support Wixie. So student samples, lesson plans that are fantastic, that dive deep into supporting the different levels of Bloom's and WED's depth of knowledge. Playlists, so short little videos. As I mentioned, the next video is a question and answer, very interactive video. So this is our webinar schedule. Please, it gets updated all the time, so take a look. Curriculum integration guides, and we also support many different reading programs and have guides for those. So definitely kind of peruse those resources there. If you just type in Wixie and support, this is probably one of the first links that pops up for you. That is, I'm going to kind of conclude with that, and thank you so much for listening and being with us today. And we hope that you find Wixie as versatile and fun and easy as we do, and hope that you will stay in touch. And thank you so much.